All right, happy Thursday night, everybody. Welcome on into the daily broadcast. Glad you're hanging out with us this evening. It is overrated, underrated, rated right Thursday. If you were on the website, theraiderland.com, we're talking about all-time great defensive players, the ones that are overrated, underrated, rated right. You can get your thoughts in on that thanks to United Supermarkets on the chat line. We've also got a lot of tech basketball to look at. How high can they go? The hoopshd.com number 29 today after a big road win and doing what you got to do. So how could they get to a 4 seed? I don't think so. But how high do you think they can go? Kansas City and Buffalo this weekend. That's in the NFL. Those are two cities, but they're not actually warring against each other. Is that the best rivalry in the NFL right now? And then we ask you tonight on the Cowboys coaching search. It's kind of comical, right? That we're talking about Pete Carroll, Brian Schottenheimer, that's who you're talking about. Admit it, Cowboy fans. It's just kind of a joke at this point. And oh yeah, hey, do any of y'all really expect to learn anything when the government releases the JFK files? Do you? Do you really think you're going to learn anything? You're not going to learn anything. All right, let's have some fun tonight. Get you on the chat line. Thanks to United Supermarkets and Market Street. In 3, in 2. Good evening, West Texans, all you good, fine, friendly folks out there who wish you were. I'm Ryan Hyatt, theraiderland.com. We know you start your day every day on our website, theraiderland.com. Get those hot links going. They're awesome. Coolest stuff around Raiderland and beyond. We figure if we like it, you're going to like it, so we put it out there. We are brought to you tonight, and we welcome in a great new sponsor and a corporate partner here at theraiderland.com. Ultra Exteriors, since 1978 here in West Texas, around the Huboplex, all the way from Abilene to Midland, Odessa, Amarillo, and everywhere in between. They're your go-to. They're your go-to. They're your standard. Over 20,000 jobs completed by Ultra Exteriors. Now, you got a house, you want it to look good. Well, they can do that, obviously, Ultra Exteriors. Maybe you're looking for a new workshop. They can build that. Windows, they specialize in windows. Who does not want great windows? And then, the rage over the last few years has been remodeling the bathroom. No matter how old your home is or whatever, everybody wakes up one day and says, and really it's your wife, right? I want to do the bathroom. Ultra Exteriors can get it done. Check out their website. Great people. We're glad to have them on. And we welcome in Ultra Exteriors tonight into Raiderland. Please go to their website and thank them for joining in the show. And, they've got the little contact thing and just say, hey, thanks for being a part of Raiderland. Also brought to you by Lifts West Hotel and Condominium in Red River, our home away from home. They are right now getting ready, not just for spring break, but you've got February, Mardi Gras in the mountains and everything going on. And the cool thing, when you book your stay there with Billy Hurst at Lifts West in Red River, you're right next to the Red River Brewery. Oh, yeah. You will not be disappointed. A great addition to Red River. The Red River Brewery and the distillery is open right now, just up the street from the brewery. But Lifts West, Red River Brewery, right next to each other. Doesn't get much better than that. All right, let's get it going tonight. Your thoughts, your comments, everything else. Texas Tech basketball. What do you think the ceiling is on the seed line? And then for Cowboy fans, where are we? Where are we right now on the coach search? Seriously. I mean, Brian Schottenheimer, bad enough, right? But now they're talking Pete Carroll? We're talking Pete Carroll? I don't know what to tell you. Okay, we get it going, Craig. The talking box is on. Indeed it is. Not many people go back far enough. The old days of Periscope and the talking box, but Craig does. Craig says we'll see a total waste of a Sharpie when they release the JFK files. Redacted, redacted, redacted. Do you really think the U.S. government is going to release, even at the behest of President Donald J. Trump, anything that's going to make them look bad? There's not going to be anything there. They're not going to do it. That RFK, no. Martin Luther King Jr., no. They're not, dude, you really, they've had 50, 60 years now to scrub that stuff out, you're not going to get anything. But hey, release it, put it out there. Let's do it. Alan is on our YouTube channel. Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland on YouTube. Please, everybody, this is a good time right now, early on in the show. I want you guys on all of our platforms. If you watch on Twitter, X, at Ryan Hyatt Media, that's great. But, you know, if you have a Facebook account, go follow us on Facebook, subscribe or like or whatever it is. Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland on Facebook. Same thing on the YouTube channel. We're so close to 500. I can't tell you guys how much 500 matters on YouTube. You go over 500, it boom, it immediately starts puking out some algorithms that are really good, and we get even more people hanging out here. And I want as many people every night because it makes it fun. I enjoy the conversation. You know, it makes it good. Sources. Coach Hyatt is a hypothetical candidate for the Dallas Cowboys. The Ask Coach Hyatt segments are the draw for Jarrah. They were great. They were fantastic. Might bring them back next fall. I don't know. That was a staple on the radio show for a couple of years there at not Sports Radio 1340, Talk 103.9 FM, News, Money, Sports. Yeah. Yeah, ask Coach Hyatt. Glad my dad wasn't around, by the way, to hear me imitate his own self. Dave Campo is available. The little general is right there. The coach who could have had Tom Brady in 2000. Danny, Cowboy fans, where are we? We're in hell. That's where we are. We're in hell. Pete Carroll, Brian Schottenheimer, 51 years old. NFL, not royalty, but, you know, his dad, Marty Schottenheimer, played in the NFL in the 60s. Obviously, NFL coach, Cleveland, Kansas City. This is a guy who's called plays for about 3 or 4 years. And everywhere he's been, Schottenheimer has pretty much failed. Yeah, that's where you are. Now, I really thought this time Jerry had a plan that if you're not going to re-sign McCarthy, that, you know exactly where you're going, that you got the name in your back pocket. And yet everybody maybe that he thought would drool over the Cowboy job. And do we think that was Deion Sanders? Do we think that Jerry thought Deion Sanders would drool over the Cowboy job and that they would trade up and they would get Shedeur and everything? I mean, was that the plan? I don't know. Alan, the only thing they will find is that LBJ is the reason for all 3 assassinations. Bold talk right there. Bold talk out of Alan Corbin. They will never, ever tell you that. Never, ever tell you that. Craig, I firmly believe that LBJ had a hand in the president's assassination. Look at that. Another one high off the top rope. They'll never tell you that. They can't tell you that. They're not going to do that. Right? You know? Alan, not even spicy mustard can save the Cowboys. Here's to spicy mustard. Danny talking about the Dallas Cowboys. The first names I want removed from consideration, Deion, Cliff, Witten. All right, I think we can take Deion out at this point. I don't think Sanders is I don't think he wants it. I'm really beginning to think he actually wants to stay in Colorado, in Boulder at Colorado for another year or so. I'm really beginning to believe it. As far as Cliff, no. And that's why you didn't see Kingsbury's name associated with any other coach search out there. Not a one. Because NFL GMs and owners know what they saw in Arizona, and they know that he's a great coordinator, but he is a grease fire as a head coach. Now, that wouldn't stop Jerry, and it wouldn't stop Cliff from taking the job, because Cliff has failed up as a coach like nobody we've ever seen. I mean, it's unbelievable. Nobody would have given him a head coaching job except Texas Tech when he got it in 12 and 13. Nobody gives him a head coaching job in the NFL except for the Cardinals after Sean McVay has success in LA. I mean, the dude is a rock star when it comes to failing up. Now he goes to Washington. He gets a great young quarterback. He makes him look good. And I think Cliff has evolved as a play caller and as an offensive coordinator. I applaud that. I think it's great. But I still don't think he can be an NFL head coach. I don't think he can be a college head coach. He is a policy wonk. He is 100% Norv Turner, and that's okay. Make a lot of money doing it these days. Danny, after that, not a fan of Schottenheimer. Don't know enough about the Lions assistants. Aaron Glenn, really good. Ben Johnson, depending on who you talk to, not ready. Cultural Index Thursday. What's your favorite mainstream conspiracy theory? Good. I like that. You guys run with that right there. Our viewers are giving us topics and comments tonight. Culture Index Thursday used to be a staple of the old Williams and Hyatt show back in the day. Non-sports, just because, and why would we be doing non-sports topics? Because you people have complete lives. You're complete individuals. Your life is not all about sports. So on Thursdays, we talk about things not related to sports. So, all right, let's go with it. Favorite mainstream, give me mainstream conspiracy theory. Oh, the NFL is protecting the Chiefs because they absolutely want the Chiefs to win because it's a huge, major metro market and it drives ratings. Yeah, there's one. Almost forgot. Remove Kellen Moore from consideration as well. Can't stand him. If it's Moore, and we don't think it will be at this point, that is a total hire by Dak Prescott, and you're allowing your franchise to be run by a quarterback who is a mid-level, upper mid-level NFL quarterback at this point, who's going to get hurt next year. How do we know that? He's going to get hurt every year. Freaking Pete Carroll. Yeah, do it. Pete Carroll is Bill Parcells, right? I mean, Jerry goes back to the well over and over. If it's Kellen Moore, you're hiring, your old backup quarterback who's on NBC now, right? If it's Pete Carroll, you're hiring Bill Parcells. I'm not sure who the Chan Gailey would be at this point, at this time. But Jerry, there's no original thought in his head for the last 25 years, 30 years. Schottenheimer, 51 years old, called plays for like 3 years. Failed in college. He's failed almost everywhere he's been. Why not? Bring him in. You know what his greatest strength? Hat tip, Mac Engel, Fort Worth Star Telegram. You know what Schottenheimer said? Yes, sir. You're in charge. Alan, my favorite conspiracy theory is that birds aren't real. Ever see a bird flying during a government shutdown? Well, you bring it up. See, and I'm not a conspiracy guy, but I fervently believe that Lee Harvey Oswald was a single lone shooter. He had a career day. Trained by the United States Marines. Other conspiracies, I don't think what we put a lot of things to conspiracy, I think are just logical. The Super Bowl logo, according to Chris on Facebook. Hi there, Facebook people. You guys are awesome. I need my Twitter people at Ryan Hyatt Media. You guys jump in. Thanks to United Supermarkets. Our YouTube people are fantastic as well. We love you guys. And we want everybody who watches the show to subscribe to all the platforms. Watch where you want, but subscribe to all of them. You never know. You might miss something. Super Bowl logo colors predicting the matchup was a fun conspiracy theory for a while. There you go. Debbie had bombs planted in the levees in Louisiana, going back to Hurricane Katrina. Yep. Yep, they were all there, man, just waiting for it. Just gonna blow them bombs up, just boom. I still can't do a good W impersonation. Strategery. Favorite mainstream conspiracy theory: Trump is a Russian spy was a fun one back in the first term. Yeah. Is Quincy Carter in coaching? I have no idea if Quincy Carter is even alive. Anybody know what he's doing these days? Somebody's bound to know. All right, we got that. We got Tech basketball tonight. How high do you think they can rise? Um, on the and this is a good time to talk again about why we don't care about Ken Palm, net rankings, NET, any of that. That is a predictive number comparing two teams and what they might do in an individual game. It's handy for that. Now, if you're utilizing that, by the way, for sports wagering, you're an idiot. But that's okay. You probably knew that anyways. What we really care about, and at the end of the day, the only thing we care about is where is Texas Tech going to be in the NCAA tournament. And that's where we get into the expected and qualitative judgments out of hoopshd.com, brackville.wordpress.com. Nobody's better than them over the last 5-10 years, consistently every year of projecting the bracket at this time of year in real time and where you are in relationship to other teams, moving up and down. And think of it like a ladder that on the Hoops HD nitty gritty number, you're at 29 today. Well, 2.5 weeks ago, you were at 60. You have moved up the ladder. Other teams have gone down. You have to look at who's in your neighborhood. What are they doing? And that's what you pay attention to right now. What are you doing? Who are you playing? What are their numbers? What am I getting out of it? Now, the Big 12 this year isn't as strong as it's been the last several years. So you've got several teams ahead of you, 5 teams, I think, ahead of you on the nitty gritty right now in the Big 12. That if you could get 3 wins out of that, you'd be all right. You know, you still got to win a bunch of games. Let me go. Let me see if I can bring this up real quick. I apologize. I'm going to click over here, go to this, go to that. All right. I want to go to opportunity games for Texas Tech in the nitty gritty number. All right. I think I'm in the right place. So nitty gritty number, teams you could play, teams you could beat that could really move you up, say out of the 8-9 line that I think you're on right now, probably be an 8-9 line. And then with seeding principles, you'd have to dodge some things. Iowa State got really close. Might get them again in the tournament, right? They've got a 3 nitty gritty number right now. Solid 3, by the way. Solid 3. They're right there with Duke. So there's one that you might get a chance to play them again later on. What about after that? Kansas is at 13. That would be an opportunity game, wouldn't it? Houston at 14. West Virginia. And West Virginia is where Texas Tech was about 2 weeks ago, that some of their metrics are overinflated by how they handled and beat up teams earlier. This number is going to fall, but they're at 22. They just got beat again. Who beat them the other night? Iowa State beat them the other night. They're at their place, I think. So West Virginia 22, and then you're at 29. So you can see what I'm talking about when I say you don't have a ton of opportunities. You have some, but not a ton of opportunities left this year within the Big 12 to just roll out and say, hey, we played them. Don't drag us down. We lost. You got to beat some teams. And then you got a lot of teams out there in the Big 12 right now that just aren't really good, and it's going to hurt you. Danny, just say nuclear. One of the all-time great theories. And Alan, Tech can be a 4 seed at best. There's a log jam at the 1-2-3 line. If they finish, say, 24-7, 25-6, they have a shot at a 3. Very unlikely. I agree with that. You would really have to run the table almost in the Big 12, I think, to get to a 3, and you're not going to go above it, even if you run the table, and you're not going to run the table. So I would say 4 is like the ultimate best you could do. And really anymore, people talk about the 5 line and the 5-12, the upset matchup. It really doesn't happen that often. Compared to other seeds, there's really no huge, crazy, oh, the 12s always kill the 5s. But you guys ruin your bracket by trying to predict the 12-5 upset. There's nothing wrong with being a 5 seed. We've gone all this way without talking about Micah Hudson. My goodness, I'm impressed. You guys are good. I predict Jerry has been working on an AI robot that looks like 40-year-old Jerry to be the head coach. That's not a conspiracy theory. That right there is highly probable. And I believe it. 3 of 4, 220, 221, whatever it takes. Not good with numbers yet. I think here. If I had to predict today, and I don't have to, but I'm doing my own show. I think Texas Tech will be a 6 seed when the tournament rolls around. You know, I think Tech will be a 6 seed. And again, Chris comes in 6'11", 7'10", more ripe for upsets. I don't have the numbers in front of me. I wish I did. I think you're kind of right. I mean, it's infinitesimally small where we talk about the percentage as we look back over the last 20 years. The good teams win, the bad teams lose. I mean, they do a pretty good job seeding the tournament for the most part. For the most part, they really do. As President Gerald Ford said in 1976, as I understood it, there would be no math involved. Thank you, Chevy Chase. Let's get into this real quick before we get out of here. Kansas City and Buffalo. Is this the best rivalry the NFL has to offer right now? Are we at a period in the NFL where we don't have great rivalries? I would submit to you, not just because I'm old, but that we are in a period where there's really not just great rivalries. And that's why a lot of people are looking at Buffalo right now, and I think around the country, not just because there's Chiefs fatigue, but that they crave rivalries and that they want Josh Allen to step up and the Bills to step up and take down the Chiefs and do something. But as we look around, I think in the NFL right now, what is the rivalry? What is the best rivalry? You know, some of your bigger names, and that would be the Cowboys. They can't provide anything, so they're out of it. The Niners have always needed another team to be a rival, and that doesn't exist. The Eagles, or EGLES, or however you spell it, according to the mayor of Philadelphia, I'm not really sure. Where's my great rivalry right now? And NFL rivalries exist for like 5 and 6 years at a time. Used to go longer back in the, if you're my age, back in the 60s, 70s, into the 80s. The rivalries lasted longer because no salary cap, the ability to hold on to players, all that stuff. So you maintain a roster longer. Now it turns over more quickly. But is this it? I think it is. I think Bills and Chiefs are your rivalry right now that, quite frankly, Baltimore just hasn't achieved enough in the postseason to really be there. And it's been Mahomes in Kansas City for 7 years, waiting for everybody on Championship Sunday. What are we going to do? Who's coming at me? What else we got? The NFC, nothing really, right? They don't have anything. Alan, I wonder if Buffalo has it in them to lose a 4th straight playoff game in soul-crushing fashion. Marv Levy says yes. Yes, we do. I think Buffalo has to win one in the playoffs to make it a good rivalry. Yeah. Because, I mean, even in the 70s, the Cowboys only go to, let's see, they lose one, they win one, they lose one, win one, lose one. 5 Super Bowls, win 2. You're still losing to Minnesota, not just the Cowboys, but you're losing to Minnesota. You know, there are other representatives of the NFC during the 70s, you know? Broncos and Steelers, nah, doesn't move the needle. Never will. NFL rosters change almost as quickly as NCAA roster. Actually, no, they're not even close. You control the roster much more effectively in the NFL than you do today. John on YouTube. That's our channel, Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland. Thanks for being out there, John. Invite your friends. Hey, everybody who's watching on YouTube, give us thumbs up. Everybody who's watching on Facebook, on Twitter, go subscribe. Is there anything to Micah Hudson on Tech's campus recently story? I don't know. I've seen probably a lot of the same reports, John, that maybe you've seen. Um, call me when it gets interesting. Well, I mean, could they take him back? Yeah, they could take him back. Well, should they take him back? I don't know. Do his teammates like him? Did he quit on them? Did they like him? Did it be cancer in the locker room? I don't know. I don't care about Micah Hudson. All right. I don't care about Micah Hudson. Now, that's harsh, but here's where I'm coming from on this. Until he proves as a player that he can make an impact on a Division One program in the Big 12, I don't care. That's harsh, but that's the reality. Show up, don't show up. Let him come back, don't let him come back. Do not care. He comes back, he takes up space, maybe he does stuff, wonderful. But I just am not going to expend any energy whatsoever on Micah Hudson at this point. Now, those of you who've followed me for 30 some odd years, and some even years, know my disdain for getting too wrapped up in recruiting. And all this to me falls back into the idea of recruiting. But this is a guy who was here, couldn't get on the field, couldn't get healthy, whatever. Now, I'm not talking about Micah Hudson, the person. I care about him as a person. I'm talking about Micah Hudson, the football player. Really don't care. It's empirically proven already that Texas Tech can recruit, sign, and put players on the field that can obviously play at a higher level than what Hudson could do. So, as this drama, this little mini drama, soap opera, whatever plays out, my advice to you would be don't worry about it. If he's here, he's here. If he's not, he's not. You know? And that's kind of the way I've been, almost completely the way I've been with players when it comes to recruiting and otherwise. Call me when they're on the two deep. Call me when they make an addition. Call me when they make an impact. By the way, where's the link to MySpace broadcast? I don't know. Ask Tom. Hope Mikey gets the help he needs. I don't know if he needs help or not. I know he needs to get healthy. Hudson, good in high school. What's he done in college besides be injured? Well, not much. So it's a great off-season story. It might drive some discussion and thoughts otherwise, but why would you expend any energy on it? Really, truly, why? Why would you? My theory would be this: if Joey McGuire and the coaching staff felt like he could somehow help him out, would not be a problem in the locker room. Not saying he was. I'm just saying not be a problem in the locker room, not be a problem otherwise. And if the NIL people who are going to have to pick up the slack, not pick up the slack, but now it goes in-house on the $20 million budget, and then NIL after that, if they want to deal with it and everybody's on board, knock yourself out. Maybe the dude plays. But I don't care. I just don't care. Fact of the matter. So we're all excited. Brian Schottenheimer, the next Dallas Cowboys head coach, Texas Tech basketball. Big games coming up this week. Oklahoma State, TCU, Kansas City, Buffalo. We may have a special guest on the show tomorrow. Maybe a special guest on the show tomorrow. Want to remind everybody, if you're looking at doing home improvements and just all sorts of cool stuff, like, maybe building a shop or, bathroom remodel, Ultra Exteriors here in West Texas. They got a website, Ultra Exteriors. My man Warren Taylor going to get you taken care of, all right? So you need to check that out. Let's see. Does NCAA have a comeback player of the year? Maybe he's got his eye on that. That's funny. You can't come back from irrelevancy, though. Yeah, you're telling me. And then finally, where's he been all day? The dude abides. Maybe he's on the show tomorrow, people. Maybe he's not. Watch him on the 10 o'clock tonight. He's David Carter, KMAC 28, Red Raider Nation. I got to hit this button to get out of here. I got to hit this button. Now I must strike a seductive pose.